my first production of Shakespeare was The Merry Wives of Windsor, and the artistic, I said, I'm an Australian, I don't like Shakespeare. I regard it as an act of imperialism that we all have to do. That we've all got to, Shakespeare can only be spoken with that British received pronunciation, and that there's no room for my voice. She said, absolutely, she was absolutely adamant that is not true, that the whole point about Shakespeare is that it takes on, like, because it's a transcendent work of art that takes on the personalities and the voices of anyone who's doing it. And the truth is, in Shakespeare's London, the way English was spoken probably sounded a lot more like Appalachian American. She was the first person to tell me this, a highly respected academic. That was a liberating idea. You know, that the word heart has an R in it. And in English, of course, it's heart. What is heart? What is a heart? It's not a heart. So that was a liberating, So I ended up directing most of my career, fascinatingly, from an anti-British, anti-Shakespeare Australian. Of course, I became a passionate Shakespearean director. So you have to, you know, and I feel like I have a personal relationship with him. I've been directing Shakespeare now for nearly, you know, over 25 years. I feel like I understand how his mind works, and I've read all the biographies, and really it's time for people to realize about Shakespeare that he was, in fact, an Australian. The reason to do a Shakespeare play comes from actors, from my meeting the actors and the artists and so on, and really the inspiration to do Hamlet came directly from Juan Cardenas doing, it was really at the last performance of Equus, and I started, this Hamlet just kept coming into my head, which was connected to him as an actor, but really just the idea of doing this play in a way that would be a cultural bridge, in a way that would take advantage, that I could see now that in America we are producing a whole new crop of artists out of our graduate schools, like Cuban Americans, who are incredibly adept and facile in 2 languages. Now, this is a uniquely American thing. This is because they are passionately American. These, you know, Cuban artists and a lot of Latino artists that I've begun to meet in Florida, they are passionately American. Probably a little more on the conservative side than I am, interestingly. But they are also very proud now. Well, one of the things that's happening with the kind of new American story, it used to be when all the different immigrants groups came to the country, the parents would not permit their kids to speak Italian or Greek or Slovak, anything at home. And a lot of people of my generation have grown up feeling, what a shame. I think one of the tensions the country has gone through is thinking of it as an either-or situation. You know, that everybody should be forced to learn English. You cannot succeed in America if you don't learn English. So what is our job as artists in this, you know, this interesting new era of the experiment? I think of Shakespeare as really the most incredible gift that has come out of the English language. 25% of the words in his plays he made up. He made them up. The language was incredibly volatile and organic, taking all kinds of influences. There was no dictionary. There was no received notion. There was no book of grammar. The language was being invented. It is so natural that the greatest inheritor of that language invented by him would be the United States, where English is in its greatest explosion of organic activity about how we speak. All the different influences, not just from different language, computer tech. English has always been open, has always bent the rules, has always accommodated different ways of speaking and pronouncing. You know, we've been talking about this a lot in rehearsal with the cast. It just felt like I wanted to do a big project in both languages.